So today we're going to turn a single image into a talking avatar video using InfiniteTalk inside of Wan2GP, which is an open source AI generation software. First, you'll create an image using either ChatGPT, Nano Banana, Gemini, or perhaps Midjourney or some other AI image generation software that you prefer. Then, we'll create a short audio clip using a new voice cloning feature in Wan2GP called Chatterbox. Finally, we're going to use those images within Wan2GP to create a video that uses the image as a starting point and then it animates it with the audio clip that we provided. Now, before you begin, I suggest that you always plan your scene and decide the message, the tone, and the facial and background imagery that you want. This is probably the most important step that you want to perform ahead of time once you're at the point where you actually want to create content rather than just fiddling around with settings and experimenting. All right, so that's what we're up to, and let's get started. So let's start by creating our image. And I'm going to use ChatGPT, but you can use whatever image generator that you want. Okay, it can be Midjourney. It could be Gemini, Nano Banana, right? Whatever you want to use. So what I would do is start with a prompt that describes the scene and the lighting, and basically sets the stage, right, for the video that you want to create. So in my instance, I have a prompt here, right? Create the image of an African American man sitting at a computer desk with a laptop in front of him, approximately 30 to 40 years old, wearing a hoodie and a black baseball cap. The man has a warm, neutral look on his face that is relaxing and comforting in a studio with music and video equipment, typical of a YouTube creator with MIDI keyboards and gear in the background. Okay, so I think that's pretty descriptive, but in front of that prompt, I also put take the following image prompt and enhance it. So ChatGPT thinks that there's a better way to represent that when creating the image, then that's fine. And then I can always use this or use the new one that it gives me in other projects, right? If I want to. So let's see what that gives us. Okay, so here's the enhanced prompt. Cinematic portrait of an African American man in his 30s to 40s. Right, it's very similar. It added the LED accent lights, and I'm sure in true ChatGPT fashion, they'll probably be purple and blue or something like that. But anyway, so that's fine. Let's just start with this prompt. It looks good. So I would say create the image using the system, using the prompt you just gave me. Okay. So let's see what we get here. Okay, so this is what it gave me. I paused it real quick so you didn't have to sit through the generation. Said, okay, that's fine. Like, I can work with that. I don't think I said I wanted it to be a cartoon or a Pixar style. So, I mean, that's fine. It did a pretty good job. Then I also created another prompt that just said, hey, the man is standing behind the desk. So now we have the man standing behind the desk. I might use this as like in another prompt in Wan2GP. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Okay, so we've got our starting images. Now let's keep moving. Okay, so here we are in Wan2GP, and we're in the TTS section, the Chatterbox section. Okay, here you have all the different models, right? And like if I were to choose Wan 2.1, right? I could actually choose all of these different models, so you can, look around, experiment, play around. But for what we're doing right now, okay, what we want to accomplish is to create our audio based on our own voice. So it can clone, Chatterbox can either clone your own voice, it can clone any voice, right? So here I have a voice that I used in the beginning. Today we'll turn a single image into a talking video. Okay, so that's the voice that I used initially. And then here is the prompt that I'm going to have recreate my voice. So these are the words that it's going to say. Each of the lines, each carriage return basically is a new audio file. Okay, and each one of these can only really be, like maybe between 15 to 20 seconds, but really 15 seconds is what you want to kind of shoot for. So if you think the line's going to take more than 15 seconds to say, then, create another line and finish it, right? Finish the sentence or create a new sentence. Here, this is where you would set the emotion exaggeration setting. So for me, what I noticed when I was playing around is that 1.9 and then a pace of 0.65 worked for me. It really depends on the content you're creating, what you're saying, the pace that you prefer, right? So you're gonna have to play around with this. By default, it starts at 0.5 and, for both. But like I said, 1.9 is what I'm currently working with, and 0.65. So, you'll have to experiment with that. I don't really mess with the C generation, but if you come across an audio that you really like, you like the pacing, you like, how the words were pronounced, you can always come into the audio files section and take that seed and then copy the seed here. So it'll use the same, basically like the same information that was used to create the audio file initially. It'll stick with that. A seed of -1 obviously means that it's random, so it's different every single time you do a generation. Okay. I didn't mess with the temperature at all. I'm sure you'll get different results, but I just left it the way it was. And then you can choose the number of generations per audio, a number of generated audio files per prompt, rather. So like I have it set for 2. So, this will have 2 generations that are that'll be different. This line will do the same thing, and then you'll have 2 for this line as well, right? So you have 6 total once you click generate. So yeah, using InfiniteTalk, Wan2GP inside Wan2GP at 402 BP. Okay, so as you heard there, not the greatest. It's decent pacing. Let's listen to another one. Welcome. Today we'll turn a single image into a talking video using InfiniteTalk 14B inside Wan2GP at 400,000 p. When you start working with these TTS models, you'll start to notice that they don't always do a great job of pronouncing the words that the way you think they would. So you're gonna have to get creative, and maybe instead of 480p the way I have it there, I would type 480p, like maybe PEE, right? Like you'll start to notice this as you work with more and more models, to find the best way to get it to say what it is that you actually want, because it can get confused. It doesn't always understand the way that we might say. I might say 14B, but it's it may not say 14B. It may say something 14B or something like that. Okay. But yeah, that's all you really need to know about that. You'll have to experiment with it yourself. So once you find what you like, then I'll show you what we do next. And then just to let you know, the other option, okay, is when we move to actually generating the video, like you could always just record the voice yourself, record the audio yourself. You don't have to use TTS. But if you're somebody who is uncomfortable speaking, you don't like the sound of your voice, blah blah blah, right? Like, this is a great choice. Or if you know, you want consistency throughout the video or tutorial or the audio book, whatever you're trying to do, right? You know, it's a good alternative. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so now let's switch over to Wan 2.1, and we're going to use this InfiniteTalk model, 14B, single speaker. There's also a multi-speaker option, but we're not going to cover that today. All right. So I've already started the generation. All right. All I did was, you know, I uploaded the file that I generated earlier. This is a different one, but I could have used the one that I showed you before. But either way, you know, it's fine. So you're going to take the file, put it there, the image. In addition to a starting image, you also need to provide a reference image. So this is the image that the model will start with to create the video. And then these are reference images that will be used throughout the video. Okay. And the way that's determined is through these like sliding, it's called a sliding window, but it allows you to create more than 5 seconds of video during the generation. Okay. So here, depending on how long the video is, so in this case, it's going to be 1 minute and 10 seconds. So it's going to be a minute and 10 seconds. So 70 seconds total. So you would take 70, multiply it by 25, and that gives you the number of frames. I decided to make it, give it an extra second, 1 minute and 11 seconds, so that, you know, it didn't abruptly cut off. So that brought us to, you know, 1,775 frames, okay, which equals 71 seconds. I also am using an accelerator so that basically the video generation goes faster. You can do that by choosing this accelerator profile, okay, and then you would click apply. I've already done that, so there's no need for me to do it. And then once you do that, it cuts the number of steps down from like 30 or whatever it was to 10. You can see that all of the settings are already applied for you. So all you have to do is click generate, or in our case, add new prompt to queue. Last but not least, let's take a look at Wan 2.2 Animate. All right. So this is pretty cool. What you can do is you take a control video and you can do one of two things. You can either replace the person in the video with the image here, this reference image, or what you can do is just animate the image, and like the background could be totally different, but it's just going to mimic all of your facial expressions and your movements. Okay. So that's, you know, in a nutshell, that's what it does. I've set it up with this profile here that accelerates and makes the process faster. This image to video Fusion IX or Fusion 9 probably. Here we just add our prompt enhancements for an audience. We'll turn on the enhanced prompt using the LLM. I'm not sure if that'll make much of a difference since you know, it's mimicking the video movements, or the movements of the person in the video rather, but we'll see. So I'm gonna leave this at 480, the category, because I just wanna get through it quickly. I could choose 720 or 1080p, but it's gonna take a lot longer. So for now, I'm just trying to get it to generate, and I can always upscale it later. Okay, so the number of inference steps will be 10. That's already set in the profile. You see the LoRa is applied here. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'll click generate. Oh, I almost forgot. So remember our number of frames. So actually, you know, this is wrong. I'm glad I just caught that. So usually it's 25 seconds per frame when you're doing image to video, but actually this is 30 seconds per frame. So that just means that we have a 80 seconds total. Actually, I'll do 81. So we'll do 81 times 30. That's 2430. So let's 2430. Okay, so that'll give us 81 seconds. And that fits our, 1 second over the length of the video. Okay, now let's click, let's click add new prompt to queue. And then this other one will get aborted in the next minute or two, and it'll start on this. Okay, and let's come back and see what it looks like.
I believe in you. Are you there, God? Are you even listening? I believe in you. Don't know where to turn and I'm just drifting. I'm a man who's lost his way, with regrets built over time, and I don't know where to turn. Please, Lord, just give me a sign. I believe in you. Never prayed before, hope you can hear me.